Greetings and welcome back. It is IDP Bets. How's everybody doing? My name is Johny the Greek. We are back for the 2025-26 season. I am joined by a very special guest tonight. He is the ranker podcaster for the flagship IDP Show podcast. He's a lover of chicken and golf and a known degenerate. It's Adam Marcum at Adam IDP on Twitter. Adam, how are you, sir?
Doing good. Not getting to play as much golf as I'd like, but certainly eating the chicken, boy. I tell you that. Always eating that chicken. Doing good though, man. I'm excited to talk ball. Excited to play some bets. Already placed some bets today. It was fun. Felt good. Felt right. Yeah, ready to do that all year long. Hopefully, we get. There's been some rumors that we may get less tackle
Mm,
props this year.
yeah, so far, yeah.
Let's hope that's not the case. We don't have any to talk about tonight. Um, but yeah, looking forward to another year of IDP betting. How are you, my
Yeah.
friend?
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. It was a good off season. Variety is the spice of life. Was doing everything except this so that I can focus on this for the next 3 or 4 months. So good to be back. Good to see you. Ready for another season. Before we get into it, though, as is tradition, these are not even suggestions. What we're about to talk about. We're just going to be discussing the bets we will be making personally. Set a limit and stick to it. For help with problem gambling, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. And I guess, season long bets. So we want to look at things like DPOY, DROY, overall sack leader, sack totals, etc. So we'll start with Defensive Player of the Year. Adam, let's start with you for your first one. What do you got for likely Defensive Player of the Year? What are you thinking?
All right, my favorite is Nick Bosa plus 1,500. Just feels like he's due for a monster year. Um, I feel like that team's going to be better. It just feels like they're going to be a lot more improved than last year. Was just everything kind of went wrong, but I feel like hopefully CMC can stay healthy. Um, Ayuk's healthy. Pearsall's healthy. Um, yeah, you just feel like the offense is going to bounce back, and so that should help the defense bounce back as well. And Nick Bosa is always a threat to put over 15 sacks, up. And so I think if that happens, I think there's a real chance that he is going to be Defensive Player of the Year. And those plus 1,500 odds, that's pretty nice. Also, like Myles Garrett, of course, plus 850. You can never go wrong there. Just worry about that team being terrible, but that's been the case before, and he's won. T.J. Watt plus 950. Never a bad option there. But yeah, I was looking at like previous winners and stuff. It's been in the last 4 years we've had 3 edge rushers.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I would lean again this year for it to be one of these top edge rushers.
Yeah, Patrick Surtain felt like a clear outlier last year. It's been mostly edge rushers recently. And just quick note right now, if you are betting any of these futures, some good promos on DK this week. And then FanDuel in the next few days will be doing Futures Day where they're giving all kinds of boosts on futures. So, yeah, some of these bets, you're adding 25-50%. So that's pretty good stuff. I'm with you on this. I took TJ Watt as my most likely Defensive Player of the Year at plus 950. So he's already won this award in 2021. He was the sacks leader in 2020, 2021, and 2023. He averages like 13 and a half sacks per season. If we exclude his rookie season, then it's like 14 and a half sacks per season. If he remains healthy, you're looking at 15 plus easily. The only issue I see with him winning Defensive Player of the Year again is the success of the team and that kind of storyline aspect. And I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think Pittsburgh may be mediocre at best, so that could hurt his chances a little bit. But decent price, plus 950. Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, like it a lot. And yeah, you're right about Pittsburgh. Like that, the division is just the conference is just too good. You know what I mean? Like there's just too many good teams, too many good quarterbacks. I think they're going to be okay, but yeah, like around like 500 probably. But yeah, TJ Watt should be happy. Just got paid a lot of money, so um, then Watt boys they like to prove that they're worth it. So I like this for him.
Yeah, and we were talking about before we hit record here. Aidan Hutchinson is another likely one. Not as good a price at plus 700, but we got the curveball last year with Patrick Surtain winning, but typically this award does go to a defensive lineman or an edge mostly. And Hutchinson is the favorite at plus 700. This tracks with the he's up next kind of aspect that you and me were both feeling. That's not scientific, but it is something we both mentioned. And if he can remain healthy and produce like we've seen in recent healthy seasons, combine that with the Lions' outlook as a likely successful team this year with a shot at the Super Bowl, I think he's got a good shot. Any thoughts on Hutchinson for this season?
Yeah, I've actually been fading him. Just I'm always going to fade guys coming off major injuries like that. But if there's anyone that can bounce back from something like that, it would be Aidan Hutchinson. So, yeah, I'm with you. That there's good value there, and I could see it happening. Like I could see him returning to just how he was before he got hurt and not missing a beat at all. And yeah, again, one of those Nick Bosa types, a threat for 15 plus sacks.
Yep. Yeah, good stuff. Any others that stuck out for you for Defensive Player of the Year? Good value or someone that you think might have a shot?
I only wrote those three down. I'd have to pull up the app. If you got any more, I can pull up the app.
No, I don't. That's fine. I was just checking. We're knocking the rust off here.
That's right. It's gonna be so much better next time. I promise you guys.
Yeah, always professional. All right, no worries. Works for me.
Oh wait, did I say I didn't say this one? I did. Josh
Nope.
Hines-Allen plus
Oh.
6,000.
Mm.
Yes, I do have a good one for you folks. Plus 6,000 for Josh Hines-Allen. Just feels like he's due for a monster year. I've kind of been. He was the guy I drafted most in the DP contest over on Fast Draft. 57% ownership, Johnny. So big fan. Just feel like that team is going to be much better in 2025. Travis Hunter is there. You got a new head coach. Just feels like good vibes in that building. Also, Josh Hines-Allen, I had forgotten that his son had leukemia. That's why he missed week 17. His son has beaten that, and Hines-Allen is refocused again. He said that he wants to set the sack record in 2025. So I don't know. A lot of good vibes around Hines-Allen right now. Plus 6,000. Like, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, this is a dude that has put up 17 and a half sacks. Again, if Jacksonville and the glow up is real and this becomes, they win the division, he's going to be a candidate. He's going to be in consideration, no doubt. So I think that's a pretty good value right there for Josh Hines-Allen. Every show I do, I have to pump Josh Hines-Allen. So there you go, folks.
Yeah, and you don't have to go crazy with this. Use one of those $5 bonus bets you get off like a no sweat or something, and that's like $300 if he wins it. That's pretty good for a throwaway bonus bet. So the price is worth it. I'm with you on that. All right, good stuff for Defensive Player of the Year. So the next one we're going to look at here is Defensive Rookie of the Year, season-long bets. And full transparency, this is not my area. I am more of a redraft guy. But Adam is an expert in this and actually picked this correct in last year's show where we did 2024 season-long. He had Jared Verse. So let's see if he can do it again. Who are you thinking for DROY this year?
All right, so kind of a weird year. Look, the favorite, Abdul Carter, plus 225. But there's just a lot of edge rushers in there, right? And that's not that great a value for him. So I don't know. I'm not really into that one. Travis Hunter's plus 1,000. I don't know how many snaps he's going to get on the defensive side of the ball. So not really confident with that one either. Mike Green is plus 1,200. That could be solid. We'll see what type of snap share he gets, but he's been impressive early on in preseason and whatnot. Jahad Campbell's plus 14. I like that quite a bit. He could be a stud. He might be a guy that gets like 140 plus tackles, 5 to 6 sacks potentially. I don't know how they're going to use him, honestly. So far it seems like they're going to use him as an off-ball linebacker, but that team has a lot of need at edge, and so I feel like there's been comparisons to Micah Parsons with him all along, so we could eventually see that guy maybe make a position change at some point. I'll be very curious on how he's used this year. James Pearce Jr. is plus 1,600. That's an interesting one. A lot of opportunity there in Atlanta. It's Jalen Walker. It's Leonard Floyd. So there should be opportunity there for Pearce. Pearce has also been tearing it up in preseason. He has like a 17.5% pressure rate. Malachi Starks plus 1,800. That's good value. I think he could come out the gate hot and be a big deal on that defense. Donovan Ezeraku, shout out Mike Woolard. He's plus 2,500. He should have a pretty good opportunity immediately. It's not especially if Micah Parsons is going to be weird at all and maybe miss time. I don't know if that's been floated yet, but either way, DeMarcus Lawrence is also gone. It's just really like Dante Fowler, Micah Parsons. So I think he could have an opportunity. But here's my pick: Carson Schwesinger plus 3,000.
What a price!
Great price. He's been crushing it preseason. 91. It's obviously like 13 snaps, but 91 overall PFF grade. 5 tackles on 13 snaps. So this is a dude that's going to potentially put up like over 150 tackles, I think. That'll play well with voters, even though it's something that, probably shouldn't be valued that much. But I think he's going to grade very well, put up a ton of tackles, be very efficient with those tackles. And yeah, just the plus 3,000, like why not? And all the other guys, just like no one really stands out. This is a kind of a weird class to me, especially as far as like edge rushers go. We have one like really elite edge rusher in Abdul Carter, and then the rest of them, I don't know that I'm confident that they're going to contribute much year one. But I think Carson Schwesinger, like that job is his. Jordan Hicks retired. They just lost somebody else too. I think someone got hurt.
Yeah, Devin Bush, something happened there, right?
One of their depth pieces got hurt. But anyway, it is certainly his job. They took him, like very early in the second round. So I like that one quite a bit. The only like worry is a linebacker hasn't won it since 2018. That was Shaq Leonard. For the most part, this has been dominated by edge rushers. Jared Verse last year, Will Anderson 2023, Sauce Gardner 2022, Micah Parsons 2021, Chase Young 2020, Nick Bosa 2019, and then Shaq Leonard. Now, like old days, the good old days, Luke Kuechly, Brian Cushing, Patrick Willis, Jonathan Vilma, Brian Urlacher, all those guys won Defensive Rookie of the Year. But that's back when people cared about linebackers a little more. Back when America had some sense, Johnny.
Right. It's they're going extinct. But we were talking about Carter before we kicked this off, and plus 225 is not ideal for a season-long bet. Like I want some juice. I want some cash at the end of that if I'm going to tie up money for 17 plus weeks. And then too many chefs in the kitchen in New York. That's going to be an actual pass rush rotation. I don't see Carter being like the guy immediately. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's not worth it to find out with just the plus 225. I think you know what I mean. So, it is probably most likely. Like I feel like I do feel like he ends up being at least the second banana at like halfway through the season and on, and maybe Kayvon's the guy that becomes that third. So I mean, we could see Abdul Carter reach 10 sacks and get it. But also just because like the competition around him, I just don't think there's really not going to be a lot of these defensive rookies putting up gaudy stats this year. I don't think, outside of Schwesinger, Jihad Campbell could, I think, and then maybe Abdul Carter. But those are the guys that I really feel confident about producing year one, and I think that's what's going to happen for you to win this award.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's how it went last year. That's why you mentioned Verse, because he's going to have the job immediately and put up the stats immediately, and that's what happened. So, yeah, just got to get in the ballpark and hope you're right on that one.
Yep.
Good stuff. Alrighty, let's look at Sack leader, yeah, that's a good one. Let's look at overall sack leader for the season. I'll kick this one off. I'm going to go with the obvious pick, Watt. As I mentioned previously, he's been the sack leader in 3 of 8 seasons that he's been in the league, including 2020, 2021, and 2023, averaging about 14 and a half sacks per season if we exclude his rookie season where he didn't play as much. If he remains healthy, he'll be in the race, right? And that's really what we're looking for, is to be in this thing at the end and have a shot at winning it. So I think he's always a good option for that. And plus 700 is pretty good. And then wait a few days, get this on FanDuel when they boost the price, make it plus 950 or something. That's even better. So I think that's the most likely one, T.J. Watt. What do you think on that, and who you got for sacks leader for this season?
Yeah, it would be T.J. Watt for me as well. Just hard to go away from that guy. But again, dark horse. I think like Hines-Allen has a really good shot to have the best year of his career. So if you're looking for like good plus money, I'd imagine Hines-Allen is probably up there for that one too. That was one I didn't look at though, so you're gonna have to carry that segment there, Johnny.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, another guy I looked at. I know you guys like this guy quite a bit, Will Anderson. So after kind of being dubbed the next chosen one at defensive end in 2023, after Houston moved up to grab him, we've seen pretty good improvement in each of his first couple seasons here, going from 7 sacks and 10 tackles for loss in his rookie year to 11 and 16 tackles for loss last season. And we still haven't seen a full healthy season from him yet. So there's meat on the bone that we haven't touched yet. If we kind of look at last season and if extrapolate out, if he had played those last 3 games where he had the ankle injury and then they sat everyone in week 18, I believe it was, they had already wrapped up the division. That's like another 2-3 sacks, another handful of tackle for loss, and that puts him up around 14, 15 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, and then he's in the conversation, right? So I think this has got a decent shot, and at plus 1100, that's a pretty good price. What do you think about Will Anderson to be the sacks leader this season?
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Year 3 for him, so I mean he's should be coming into his own here. Also going to be thinking about getting paid, in a couple seasons. And then like advanced metrics wise, like his pressure rate has gotten better every single year. Win percentage is up there among leaders. So I mean, everything you want to see. Like this dude is going to be a stud for the next decade, I think. So big fan of that.
Nice, nice. And one other one that kind of struck my fancy here was Jared Verse at plus 1,700. So, Verse spent some time this offseason working out with Aaron Donald. That moves the needle a lot for me. Not really, but I miss Aaron Donald, so any excuse to talk about him. Verse is the future of the defense in Los Angeles, though, and despite only 4.5 sacks for his rookie season, the measurables are there, right? And we've seen that when those measurables are there, production historically follows, right? So there should be some real good positive regression incoming for him this season, with a top 10 ranking for both PFF pass rush grade and pass rush win rate last season. So yeah, he had 18 QB hits, so he was that close another 18 times. So this is a projection more than anything, but I know I am not in bad company on this. I know you guys like him. I know Macri likes him. I know a lot of us think that there's a lot of positive regression coming this season. So thoughts on Verse at plus 1,700?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, this is obvious. Going to convert the pressures to sacks. Following year. So I think he was like 7th in pressures per game, 9th in pressure rate. Yeah, so good, and he's just a powerful pass rusher. I think he's going to just continue to get better and better. So he's on a great defensive line too. Surrounded by young talent. Yeah, this is a good one. Everyone's on Verse this year. He's become a first rounder, sadly. And his IDP only best balls. Need to specify.
Yeah, true. But yeah, no, the price has gone up, no doubt. Yeah, those are the ones I had. Yeah, I don't know. Did anything else stick out to you, or any names that come to mind when we think about dark horses for overall sack leader this season? Like, Danielle Hunter is a guy. Yes, he's getting older, but not as much attention on him now with Will Anderson there in Houston. That's always got a shot. I feel like Garrett always has a shot. I feel like
for sure. Bosa always has a shot.
yeah, Bosa, right.
Crosby doesn't seem like that type though. To get, he hasn't yet. I don't think he's gotten over like.
He's a compiler, right? You're getting tackles, tackle for loss, the occasional pass defense, and then a sack every 2-3 games, which is fine, which is great for IDP, but not for this.
Yeah, it's true. Shots fired, Max. Come at Johny.
No, we love him. We love him.
We do love him, but you're all right. He is a bit of a compiler. I mean, he just plays a ton of snaps. Like he plays like linebacker snaps. He's playing like 100% of the snaps. That's insane. And then he's over 80 tackles every single season. It seems, but I don't think he's gotten over 14 sacks in a single season yet. But maybe this will be his year. The juice is back in Las Vegas as well.
Yep. Yeah, lots of juice. Lots of juice in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, good stuff there. Okay, so as we mentioned at the start of the show, they do not have any season-long tackle over-unders yet, but we're keeping an eye out on that. And there were a couple already for Week 1, so it looks like we will be getting tackle lines in some fashion this season, which is good news. So we'll definitely have that for you when available. But we do have some sack totals for the season over-unders. What do you got? Let's have you lead off on this one. Who do you like for over/under sack totals for the season?
All right, so I'm looking at the props that were 7+ sacks. So guys that I think will get at least 7+ sacks. One I just wanted to mention real fast that stuck out to me. Leonard Floyd -255. I don't really want to bet this one. There's just why it's -255, but it's notable. Wanted to give him some love. The dude has gone over 7 sacks ever since 2020. So I mean, he's been reliable. I know he's not crushing it pressure wise or anything like that. Never going to be like a big PFF darling, but the dude has produced. So there's something to say about that. But yeah, again, it's -255, not the best price.
Right. He blows an ACL and you flushed God knows what down the toilet. But I hear you. Right. He is reliable.
Yeah, they gave him 1 year, $10 million. This offseason. So I mean, I imagine he's going to play a good amount, probably more than he did last year in San Fran. Here's one I actually will bet though, and probably parlay with another one. I've already done that. Nolan Smith -145. Just think he should have a monster year, Johny. 6.5 regular season sacks last season, but don't forget 4 sacks in the playoffs. He played 76% of the snaps between weeks 11 and 16 last season, and he carried that same snap percentage through the playoffs. So Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Bryce Huff, Milt Williams, all those guys left the building. They added Azeez Ojulari, and that's pretty much it. I was thinking, I was like, I'm forgetting somebody. So I pulled up the depth chart, and no, it's really like just Jalix Hunt, Ojulari, and Nolan Smith there. Like they are very thin and very weak at that position. So, and that's also why I kind of think that Jahad Campbell could end up playing quite a bit of edge this year. Just they actually need him. But yeah, I think Nolan Smith probably gonna lead those edge rushers. Not probably, he will lead those edge rushers in snap share. I expect him to play close to 80% of the snaps, and over 7 sacks should be pretty easy. He should be at that by week 11. Also, I like Dante Fowler pretty well, +115. He's been pretty good the last 3 seasons, really, especially when you look at pressure rate. 12.9% last season, 17.8 in 2023, 15.9 in 2022. And then last year he came through with the sacks, putting up 10.5. He had been a guy that it wasn't, never really living off the big sack numbers. Like if you look at 2023, it was 4 sacks. If you look at 2022, it was 6 sacks. But again, trust that pressure rate. Trust that those sacks will eventually come. They came last year. Again, he's in a good situation there in Dallas. Micah Parsons a little up in the air right now. Ezraku, do like him, but there's a world where they could also slowly bring him on. So Fowler should have a good shot at 600, 700 snaps. I think he can get over 7 sacks with that. They brought him in for 1 year, $6 million. Kalijah Kancey plus 115. That's a dude that I think he's going to be over 7 sacks every single season. He's just a pass rushing defensive tackle, undersized. What was comped a lot to Aaron Donald coming out. This will be year 3 for him. Good player. I expect him to continue to get better and better, and basically be a threat to be the sack leader for defensive tackles every single season. Pat Jones plus 230. Carolina brought him in for 2 years, $15 million. He got 7 sacks last year in Minnesota on a limited snap basis. I think he played like 500 snaps around there. So he should get more than that this year in Carolina. I think that's pretty good money. It's a fine dart. And then I also have James Pearce Jr. plus 250. He has been crushing it this year in the preseason. 17.5% pressure rate. That's 7 pressures on 40 pass rush snaps. Then shout out Jaws, James Pearce Jr., my defensive rookie of the year. Dude seems to operate at an entirely different speed than everyone else. That is very true, man. He is so quick, so slender. I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Pearce. He was one of my favorites in this offseason in that draft process. So I like that. I think he's going to get a good opportunity. I like him better than Jalen Walker, especially out the gate. I think Jalen Walker could use a little bit of time, needs a little bit of time before he was a guy that wasn't really exclusively an edge rusher, so I think he's going to need a little bit of seasoning there. But, that's the ones that I like for 7 and up.
And a lot of those guys have in common that they're looking at a lot of snaps this year, and that's where we got to start with this, right? Not going to be like a rotational guy that's gonna do this for us. D-Law gone on Dallas too, so force him out for D-Law. I miss him already.
Sam Williams still recovering from ACL, right? Didn't he do that last year?
Yeah,
and he's kind of very inconsistent up and down. He was someone that I liked at one point, but usually injuries like that kill guys like that.
Yeah. Although I do have a guy that came back from an ACL that is my first pick for over/under. That actually was okay after it. Knock on wood. So Harold Landry over 8.25 sacks. This is off underdog, so it's an X1. So that's essentially like I guess minus 100 would be a good equivalent for that. Adam, I don't do a lot of underdog. Is that true?
Yeah, I think that would be good for him. I think that's likely. He's going to get a ton of volume. That's how it always was in Tennessee. Like he was like a little Max Crosby light. They played him a ton. He's kind of like a volume guy as well. So yeah, he's now like 2 years removed from it.
Yeah. You're right. I was more referring to price, but yeah. Landry's had at least 9 sacks in 4 of the last 5 seasons that he's played. At least 16 games or more. He did miss all of 2022 with that ACL. But this guy's been super consistent otherwise with seasons of 9 sacks, 10.5 sacks, 12 sacks. One off year with 5.5. I don't know what happened there, and then 9 sacks going back to 2019. If we exclude that 2022 season, and I mean he should be the pass rush for New England this year, and he's once again paired up with Mike Vrabel, who was the guy responsible for a lot of this success. I'm a little concerned about some of the attention he might get with double teams and chips off the line of scrimmage, stuff like that. But, the opportunity is going to be there. And, one of the rare guys that actually came back okay off an ACL. But what do you think? That's not a big ask for Landry, I don't think, right?
No, not at all. Should be no big deal for him. And again, I think he's going to play a ton. I think he's going to play like 800, 900 snaps. That's what Vrabel usually has him do. And then the cornerback play has gotten even better. They brought in Carlton Davis.
Yeah,
that should help the pass rush. We're big fans of him. Christian Gonzalez is further removed from his ACL tear. So yeah, that's going to be they're always a good defense. They always have a bunch of players that no one has heard of. Most casual fans, no one knows who any of these guys are, but they'll be a top 10 defense.
Yeah. I still remember how they surprised Cincinnati week 1 last year with that defense. A bunch of, Jelani Tavai and a bunch of dudes no one's heard of holding the Bengals to like 10 points or whatever it was. So
yeah, it'll be the same story. Milt Williams, Keon White, like Christian Ellis, all these guys. They brought in Robert Spillane. You know, it's all these. Yeah, who is this dude, and how is this defense just you know dominating us? But that's the
Yeah.
Patriot way.
That's it. That's it. I know you got some guys for over 10 and over 15. Let me run one other one by you first. So I want to go under on this one. This is pessimistic and not good vibes, but I'm a realist. I'm going to say Joey Bosa under 6.25 sacks. This is on underdog, and it's very simple. He hasn't played a full season since 2021 and has missed significant time due to injury in 6 of 9 seasons he's been in the league. So, I mean, yeah, there's no arguing with how good he can be when he's healthy, but he hasn't been healthy. He can't stay healthy. And beyond that, he's only cleared this 6.25 sacks twice in the last like 5 seasons. So, he had exactly 6.5 sacks in 2023. So Vegas really knows what they're doing with this line. He hasn't had double-digit sacks since 2021. So I hope that this is like a get right season for him, and he can get win a title in Buffalo. I'd be fine with that, but I'm just not seeing it, and I'm a little pessimistic. What do you think about Joey Bosa this year?
Yeah, I mean it's hard to be optimistic about him at this point in his career. I mean, I'm with you. I would be surprised if he finishes the season. He's already been banged up with the Bills. Like that's already happened this offseason. So yeah, no, thank you. Where are these unders at? What site were you using again?
Underdog for this one. So
Okay, I need to get on and look at. I like some of the unders. Some of the ones on DraftKings are like, ugh. Like they had like John Franklin Myers over 10 sacks. It's like who is betting that? Who is betting that? And but can I please bet the under on that?
yeah, right.
Right. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Oh, underdog.
Yeah, it's good. And what's nice about it is, for whatever reason, they usually get this stuff a little bit before like DK puts it out. So a lot of the times it ends up being the same line. It's just out there a little bit earlier. So good stuff there. What do you think about for over 10? I know you had a pretty good list for the over 10 sack guys this season.
Yeah, some of my favorites. Jared Verse, he's minus 120, so I feel like that should easily happen. Josh Hines-Allen again for the 5th time in the show, plus 120 to get over 10 sacks. Will McDonald plus 175, put up 10.5 sacks in 2024, 29th in pressure rate with 13.2%. They say he's also put on some muscle. You always love to hear that. And then Nolan Smith plus 300. Again, I talked a lot about him earlier, but I just feel like he's going to have a really good year. And if you look at like how he did on the season total, he had over 10 last year anyway, if you include the playoffs, So that's who I like for 10 plus. I'll go ahead and spit out I have 12 pluses as well in here.
I got I got something
some?
for you. I was with you on Will McDonald. I actually wrote something up for him. Yeah, I'm with you on this completely. So I'm going. It's over 8.25 on underdog for him right now. So even a lower line to get a decent payout here. We've got Hassan Reddick's gone. Jermaine Johnson's coming off a season-long injury. So it certainly looks like McDonald, along with Quinnen, are going to be like the best pass rush options for the Jets this season. McDonald had obviously great draft capital, but was a little bit buried on the depth chart his rookie season. Still managed a handful of sacks despite not really playing much in 2023. But when we fast forward to last season, he jumped to playing all 17 games, started 15 of them, and then had 10.5 sacks. So yeah, I think that's how we're going to start this year, right? He's going to start and play every single game. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Reddick is gone. Jermaine Johnson's banged up. Quinnen gets double teamed all the time. It's his, he's there to wreak havoc. I think he's going to. So I'm with you on this Will McDonald one big time.
Yeah, this is like year 3, so I mean, again, like gonna be thinking about wanting to get paid, so he's gonna want to start stringing some really good seasons together. But again, all the off-season news that I've been hearing is good things involving Will McDonald, so I'm excited.
He's cheap too. He's cheap.
Yes.
Yeah. No one's gotten the memo. I've been getting him insanely late in the startups and the redrafts and all that. So I'll take it.
Yeah. He's a guy that doesn't have like a very safe floor because he's not going to get you a lot of tackles. but who cares? Like he's your defensive end 2, defensive end 3. Like who cares? He's a dude that can get 3 sacks in a game and swing you a week. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's going to be one of these guys that gets slept on for probably his whole career.
Yep. Yeah, good stuff. And then you had some over 15s, I think it was. What do those look like?
Yeah, I had some. I had 12 plus. I had a few 12 plus. I had Nick Benito at plus 230 for 12 plus sacks. That was pretty nice. Like he's a guy that is trying to get paid. Right, he's on the last year of his deal. 14% pressure rate last season. Yeah, just a guy that's going to potentially be one of the best edge rushers in the league, I think. So, big fan of that. Hines-Allen again, plus 300. Like I love him this year. I'm going to bet that one as well. I'll bet all these for Josh Hines-Allen. And then Will McDonald again, plus 425 for 12 plus sacks. He feels like a guy that could get 15 in a season, and wouldn't be surprised if we saw it this year. So I like those as well. And then the 15 plus sacks, TJ Watt plus 200. That's solid. That's fine. There's not a lot of guys that are candidates for over 15, really. But again, Hines-Allen plus 1,000, and then Will McDonald plus 1,500. Those are my favorite values of them.
Yeah, that's really good. Was Garrett on there? He's probably similar to Watt.
Yeah, he was probably. Yeah, he was probably plus 300 or something.
Yeah, and that's rough, right? Because if they miss a month with an injury, it's iffy all of a sudden. But yeah, that price on McDonald and Allen, wow.
That's how I would play those plus 15 sack ones. Just because the odds they don't pay off enough for the most likely ones. But really, it's like that the sacks are just so up and down. Like I wouldn't feel confident really either way about just one guy. So just take where the best prices are for those type ones.
Yeah. Good stuff there, buddy. Yeah. Anything else that stuck out to you there? That's all I got on my end.
No. Just excited for more props to hit and drop out there. Keep placing these bets. Keep hopefully winning that money.
Yeah. No, we had a good year last year. We I think it was 10 winning weeks, couple ties, and like 4 or 5 losing weeks. So much more won than lost overall. And yeah, looking forward to another season of it. What do you guys got? What do you guys got going on this season? Tell the folks what they can look forward to.
The usual, we'll have podcasts running like twice a week, I believe. Articles, rankings, everything you need, folks. You know us. TheIDPshow.com. That's where you can find us at Adam IDP on Twitter. What about you? What do you got going on?
Yeah, no, be the same as last year. Yep, doing it every Friday night. We'll be doing IDP bets, so I'm sure I'll see you for that at some point. And cornerback corner every Tuesday, and yeah, all kinds of good stuff coming here. Mike's got the Green Dot article. Jeff's been killing the IDP minute. That's
so cool. Yeah,
that's been helping me as much as it's been helping other people.
For sure, man. It's hard to find IDP news. We need it'll get better. As IDP starts to grow, like there'll be more people out there pestering these beat writers, asking them questions, and they'll start to catch on. But yeah, for now it is very useful what he's doing, because you got to really dig to find the nugs out there. So yeah, Lord's work from Jeff.
That's it. Good man. But yeah, no, we'll have plenty of IDP bets this season. Lots of good guests. We got Bogman coming week 1, and then Patrick, better known as Tackle Box Props for week 2. Mr. Varnes week 3. So we got some real good guests lined up for everyone for this year.
Heavy hitters. Yeah. Hell yeah. Good dude. Good dudes. Good men.
Yes, good men. Beautiful. Well, good stuff, buddy. We got some good ones out there. Yeah, that's all we got. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Let me just quick note here. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in to this episode of IDP Bets. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever we go live for future episodes. Check out the All IDP podcast feed for episodes of this show, IDP Drafts, the IDP Trade Show as well. Be sure to subscribe to the website, theidpshow.com, for all the premium resources you need to bring home the titles this season. Good luck. Well, not this week, but good luck in week 1, and we'll see you guys Friday of week 1 as well. Thank you all for listening, and have a good weekend.